Okay then guys, the time has come yet again. Nexon and the First Descendant have finally announced the Dev Notes Volume 6. This is absolutely huge. Alongside that, they've had a post up on Twitter with regards to their beta and a load of creators that were featured on it. So we're going to dive on into what the devs have got to say about the First Descendant, and hopefully we'll get some sort of release date. I'm freaking excited for this one. If you haven't already, smash that beautiful blue thumbs up and subscribe with post notifications turned on. On top of that, check out our sponsor, Cymax, the #1 in nutrition's experts, providing supplements proven to help fitness, weight loss, shredding, and bodybuilding. We're in the works with them right now, and there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes, especially on Instagram. If you guys want to check that out, I'll leave my Insta down in the description, as well as a link to Cymax's store, where you guys can grab the brand new Explode cans for just £1. It's absolutely incredible stuff, and I rate it highly. With that being said, let's dive on in to today's video. So starting off, we have got the Twitter posts that they have stuck up. We have got two right here, one of which is for all of the beta players, where they dive into incredible moments shared by the global Descendants. We are going to dive into the dev notes in just a second, but this one was a very, very big one. Now, unfortunately, I'm not a Twitch streamer, otherwise I'd have probably posted up a clip in for it. They did ask, but I don't have that sort of content. So with that being said, massive shout out to Nexon for giving me the opportunity for this one. But unfortunately, we are not in there. Although there are a bunch of amazing creators helping advertise this incredible game. So make sure you go and show it some support. The link is down in the description for you guys to go and check out. It's quite a good watch for a 1.5-minute video, so go and have a look. Next up though, we have got the First Descendants Dev Notes Volume 6. They state here that over a month since the crossplay open beta test, your feedback has been invaluable. We're shaping the game based on your support. Now check out the major directions we've set for the development. And that leads us to the Nexon the First Descendant website. Again, link in the description for you guys. But this post is absolutely ginormous with loads of communicative pieces, and we love to bloody see it. So starting off, they state right here, greetings Descendants, the First Descendants producer Lee Byung-jun. It's already been over a month since we ran the crossplay open beta test for the First Descendant. The reason we haven't been able to share more news with you sooner is because we've received so much feedback from our Descendants who participated in this test. With your incredible support and interest, we had a lot to consider in shaping the game for a better gaming experience. Our dev team have been having intense internal discussions every day since the test ended. As a result, we were able to set some major directions in a broad framework on how we're going to develop the First Descendant, and today I would like to share with you what we've learned from the crossplay open beta. Firstly, a week-long crossplay open beta test that started on the 19th of September was cross-platform across all global regions, covering PC on Steam, PlayStation 4 and 5, and Xbox Series. Almost 2 million Descendants took part in this test, and while they participated from various regions around the globe, North America showed the most interest and playtime. We were also hugely surprised by the high level of engagement from console users, with a 5.5 split in player count between console and PC. That is absolutely huge. Now, I want to give a massive shout out to those UK boys, because I know a lot of us over here have been binging out on the First Descendant during the beta. But this is absolutely incredible to know that we had 2 million players inside of the game just during the beta alone. So when they launch this game, given they don't leave it too long, this is going to go absolutely incredible. And a 5-to-5 ratio split is actually really, really rare when it comes to these game launches and stuff like that. Generally, there's quite a larger side on the PS on the PC than there is on the consoles, so it'd be interesting to see how this one pans out come the actual full launch of it. Let me know what you guys are playing on in the comment section below. But they go in for some key feedback from the crossplay open beta test. As I mentioned earlier, many Descendants participated in this test and they gave us a lot of feedback. There were many words of support too, such as how they enjoyed the game and that it has improved a lot since the last Steam beta test, which is incredibly encouraging to the dev team, and we're very grateful for that. But there was just as much feedback about improvements that were needed to move the First Descendant forward. So today I'd like to share my thoughts on the direction that we'll be taking. Now, as far as missions go, to begin with, we received the most feedback about repetition of missions and underutilization of fields. The current mission and fields were designed with certain intentions by our dev team, but this crossplay open beta test has made us recognize an urgent need to improve the gameplay. Thank the bloody Lord, Nexon are listening. big. So we're going to make significant improvements to both missions and fields. We'll not only improve the quality of missions, but also add necessary features for co-op play and matchmaking support for dungeon missions. And most importantly, we'll introduce new contents to the fields to make the gameplay more enjoyable. We'll share more details about this in the future dev notes when it's ready to be revealed. Now, as far as the prologue and tutorial, they go into state that many Descendants had positive things to say about the new prologue and tutorial. It's a little bit skeptical, me personally, we'll get into that in a sec, which made the difficult decision to revamp the prologue after the last Steam beta test. Actually, that's really, really good. All the more rewarding and worthwhile. However, there were also a lot of people who expressed disappointment with the storytelling in conjunction with the repetition of missions that I mentioned earlier. The dev team is working on several ideas and improvements in this area. So the tutorial itself, the original base tutorial, was absolutely appalling for me personally. I think that there is a lot of things to go over inside this game, and although it has that general looter shooter style of go to this location, do this, this is how you do this, it didn't really work in Tangent that well. There were a lot of things that you kind of had to figure out on your own, and for anybody new to the genre, it's going to be quite a bit of a pain in the ass. So it's nice to know that they're changing that one around quite substantially. UI and UX. Now, there were numerous comments about the UI and UX as well, and we've made many improvements to them since the last Steam beta test, but we still received a lot of feedback. Accordingly, we're going to make improvements to the controls and visibility, including improvements to the module UI that many have commented about, and we're also planning to make a much requested loadout feature available at launch. We're also working on improving gamepad controls for console and gamepad users too. Incredible, absolutely incredible. The loadout mechanic was something that we all really wanted, because there are so many different key features inside of this game that you guys have to take into consideration, and loadouts were really one of those where it really helps with the build mechanics inside of the game. This means that you guys can have numerous builds for numerous characters, and you can just swap and load in and load out all of those features. Absolutely incredible, well done Nexon. Now, as when they go into the shooter play and action, we've also received diverse feedback on the shooter play and action aspects of the game, and we're really encouraged that many have expressed a high level of satisfaction with various combat sound effects. We're planning on continuing balancing the combat sound effects and adding more detail to increase the quality itself. In terms of gameplay though, there were a lot of complaints or frustrated players due to the difficulty in obtaining ammunition, and I would like to say we are also preparing various improvements for this issue as well. Thank the bloody Lord, ammo was a freaking nightmare. But regarding action, there was great interest in the completely revamped grappling hook and the addition of parkour. While there was a lot of positive feedback though, there was just as many suggestions for improvement. Despite the plentiful feedback of enhancing the action aspect, our dev team are honestly cautious about it because of the balance with the shooter playstyle. Nevertheless, we're testing several radical features to answer our Descendants requests seriously. We'll decide on this after taking several internal tryouts, so we'll get to you more about that one later on. Now, this is actually huge, right? Okay, because there's not many dev teams that say we hear you on this basis, but we don't really give a toss. We think that it's okay. Now, the mechanics as far as parkour and the grappling hook and all of that sort of stuff was absolutely incredible. It was revamped in such a great manner, and if you guys played the original format inside of the alpha, then you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But this is so much better, and if they play around with it too much, they may just knacker it for future Descendants to come. Now, they do make a conversation here about optimization and security, where we're also aware of issues with optimization, graphic quality, and settings. We're already working on specific improvements, so please look forward to them. Finally, we've made it one of our highest priorities to establish measures in response to our users who used cheating methods during the crossplay open beta test. We apologize once again to our Descendants who had any inconvenience from users that did not play in a fair way. There are many more developments matters that I'd like to talk about, but for today I'll conclude with my thoughts on the future development directions of the game. I believe that the looter shooters as a genre, growth elements, motivation to play, and ease of play over a long play time are more important than anything else. Therefore, the dev team have been focusing on strengthening the growth elements to enhance the inherent fun of a looter shooter, buffing content that allows players to use a variety of characters and improving the UI and UX to ensure that players aren't frustrated by repetitive gameplay. Even after the release, we'll continue to address any shortcomings and keep updating content for our Descendants to enjoy. Massive round of applause for Nexon. This is brilliant. This is exactly what we wanted to see when it came to the first Descendant, and a lot of people were skeptical when it comes to the looter shooters. We all know about the looter shooter graveyard, and the first Descendant was being spoken about as if it was going to be joining it. Mark my words, here and now, at around 10 minutes and 30 seconds into this video, and every video I've done up until this point, this game needs to be watched. This is going to do so well in the looter shooter genre and do so well in the scene, and just as Destiny are going into their final planning phases, this is a perfect timing to hit the launch in place. Now, they end this massive article by stating key feature development directions for the first Descendant. This crossplay open beta test was an invaluable time for our dev team, giving us a good look at what our Descendants enjoyed, what frustrated them, and the current state for the first Descendant. So we're using the results to the test as a basis to discuss our future plans. The Descendants' expectations and support for the test have been so amazing that we're eager to perform the game even further. As such, we're discussing heatedly about our release schedule and future plans. And to implement your feedback for better quality, we're looking into the launch period to be in 2024. We'll provide more details about the release schedule in the near future. It's also heartbreaking for us that we could not deliver the exact date that you've been expecting. The crossplay open beta test was a precious opportunity for our dev team to meet so many Descendants, and we'll continue to share improvements, changes, and new features through the community as before. Even though the game isn't available to play right now, so many of you are active, supportive, and engaging in the community and through various channels. In response, we'll continue to make the first Descendant better together. We'll remain transparent in our communication and listen to your feedback up until after the release too. Thank you very much. This is really good, and in the same breath, so damn disappointing. I was really hoping for a 2023 release date. I know that we've only got a couple of months left of the year, but this is something which it greatly disappoints me. I was really hoping for an early release on this one, but we'll just have to see exactly what it is that they do. They are working on this game tirelessly by the looks of things, and making a lot of community changes that they've decided via feedback options, which is not something that we see very often inside of the gaming community. Massive shout out to Nexon and the first Descendant for this one, and hopefully we see this game hit the storefronts very soon. If you have enjoyed this video in any way, shape, or form, make sure you're smashing that beautiful blue thumbs up, and thank you so much again for watching. And if you've managed to get to this point, just stick a star in the comment section for me. I really want to know how many of you guys watched this all the way through. Thanks again for watching, guys. Appreciate you all, and as always, up until the next time, I'll see you in the clouds.